Yeah, hello and welcome to another tier list. Now, I think it was at the beginning, it was either at the beginning of this year or very, very late at the end of last year. I made some ranking videos, ranking both the tool tab and the light tab stuff. They were like two separate videos. Those videos were absolute horrid back when my opinions were absolute garbage, but over this year I have learned a ton about Don't Starve, and by that I mean like two things. And I want to refine those videos. So instead of just being me in game walking around just being like, okay, so this is like the best because it is and I get the most use out of it. No, I want to make an actual proper tier list using Tier Maker. This is going to be fun. Anyways, so let's just cut this. Let's just cut the rubbish and get straight into it. First up, we have the axe. I'm going to put this in A tier. It's really good. You're going to keep using it even in the late game. It's super cheap to craft. You use it for crafting trees. You can chop tons of dead trees for tree guards. Is good. Is good. You're going to be using this a lot. Early game, mid game, late game. It's great. Pickaxe, I'm going to put actually a tier below it. Simply because, yes, it's going to be pretty good early mid game. Once you reach late game, you're probably going to be using opulent pickaxes, which, since you're going to be going into places like the ruins pretty late on, getting stuff like that, gold shouldn't be much of an issue. And for mining rocks, the golden whatever one it's called, I think it's called the opulent pickaxe. The golden pickaxe is just much better in my opinion for stuff like that. Shovel, I'm going to put this under the pickaxe, but still in B tier. I think this is good as well, just like the original pickaxe. Just again, nothing to really just hype me up. I just kind of find it kind of underwhelming in comparison to its golden version. This version loses like 4 durability per thing dug up, and I think that's maybe just a little too much. The gold version, which we'll get to later, is just, again, much better. Anyways, moving on. We have the hammer, S tier. Freaking amazing. Probably, yeah, this is like the number one thing on here it's probably going to be. So basically, the hammer is really good early, mid, late game. You're going to be taking it to the ruins to like hammer piles and stuff like that. You're going to be hammering like pig houses for boards, cut stone, and pigskin, hammering pig heads, hammering rabbit hutches. You're going to be hammering a lot of stuff for tons of easy resources, and you can use those resources to make pig huts and rabbit huts wherever you want to make them. Put them in spots, maybe make like a fire farm with them. It's just really good. The hammer is just freaking top tier in its class. The pitchfork, I'm gonna put this in A tier, above the under the axe, but still just there in A tier. Honestly, in my opinion, the pitchfork is really good and criminally underrated. You can use it to just get rid of the turf, replace whatever you want. It prevents eye plants from spawning, which is like one of the main reasons I've put it here. Because I have had eye plants spawn on my base a few times, and my goodness, it was terrible. Especially when I've actually left tools on the ground that I was planning on using later. Yikes, it's dreadful. Get one of these up and make some man-made turf, or just put something like a desert turf there so eye plants don't spawn. It sounds like a terrible idea, but just do what you want with it. Now the razor, I'm going to put this in B tier because it has its uses if you're like Wilson or Weber. Other than that, it doesn't really have much aside from like shaving beefalo, which is why don't more people shave beefalo? I barely see anyone do it. It is actually a really freaking good thing to do. For like fuel and stuff like that. Like seriously, beefalo wool is a really good fuel, and since I generally like to leave a few beefalo after I'm done mass murdering them, shaving them for wool to use as fuel is really good. But I still just think that in terms of uses, it's incredibly... Shut up, phone! Shut up, phone! Oh my goodness! Will you please shut up? Jesus Christ, who's calling me at the ridiculous hour of 6 p.m.? Anyways, as I was saying, in terms of like, it's good, but its uses are incredibly limited. But the pitchfork, whilst it's the exact same thing, its uses are much more just substantial with its turf, preventing things like eye plants and just generally affecting the entire area as a whole. Next up, we have the hoe. I'm actually going to put this in A tier, above the pitchfork, because ever since the farming buff Don't Starve Together got in 2020, farming has been actually really viable, considering farming is now cheaper. You don't really have to pay attention to crops and pretty much just drop some seeds in there and you can plant more than one seed in like a single crop thing. It's honestly really good and actually a pretty decent source of like filler foods and vegetables and stuff like that. Like seriously, it's actually really good. Okay, next up we have the golden axe. I'm gonna put this like right under the normal axe, because in terms of like just going around chopping trees, this is going to be used really like once you get the gold for it, you're probably going to be using this more than the regular axe. But even when you do that, you're probably still going to keep a normal flint axe on standby for just chopping singular dead trees, because in my opinion, if you're just going around with a golden axe just chopping dead trees, that's honestly kind of a waste in my opinion, when you could just take one flint, just put that together and chop down 100 dead trees with that for tree guards and stuff like that. It's honestly kind of a waste. Seriously though, like I said, flint axe is good. Use it. The golden pickaxe. I'm gonna put this here, right under the golden axe, because like the golden pickaxe is just much better. It only costs like 2 gold if I remember correctly. And you can mine so much more with it. The original axe lost like, the original pickaxe lost like 3 durability per swing. This one only loses 1, which in my opinion is so much better. Whenever I get the chance, like early game, I always want to craft one of these things. It is honestly super good. Because you can mine so much, like so many boulders with it, and you can get more gold from it by just going around and mining those. Seriously, it's so good. Golden shovel. I'm going to put this just right above the regular shovel in terms of usefulness, because it's basically just a better shovel. You only lose like 1 durability, if I remember correctly, per like shovel up compared to like the original's 4, I believe, which in my opinion is so much better. You can dig up so much more stuff to replant at your base. And since I generally, in later worlds where I generally go past like day 100, I tend to be digging up a lot of stuff. I just end up finding more use for this, for digging up stuff like berry bushes, saplings, and grass tufts to deliver them back to my base to be replanted there. Golden hoe, honestly, this is kind of a waste in my opinion, considering you can get more than enough use. Actually, no, I'm putting it in C tier. I just find the original hoe to be so cheap and so good at what it does that I just find the golden one to be kind of a waste of gold. Even though you can get gold pretty easily through trading trinkets, this is where I kind of, the golden hoe is just where I pretty much just draw the line. Watering can, honestly, this is really good. I'm putting this just right, I'm going to put it at the bottom here. Actually, no, I'm going to put this above the pitchfork, because seriously, the watering can is good at what it does. It's cheap to craft, only requiring like logs and rope, if I believe, maybe a board. Yeah, I think it's like a board and something else. It's cheap and it does the job well. It gives you 40 uses, which is actually quite a bit, considering like you only need to do like 8 spots per thing, and you can easily refill it whenever you need to. Seriously, it's actually really good. The waterfowl, holy crap. This thing is like really bad. You have to kill a very, very painful boss for it, and what do you get? A watering can that's sole purpose is to just have more uses. 160. Whilst that does sound good, it just comes down to you have to kill a difficult boss, like one of the most painful bosses in the game, for like a watering can. Do you really want that just for a watering can? Seriously, I mean, I think you get more than that, but seriously though, just the original watering can is so much better. And refilling it is super easy. It's not like, oh, it's just like, it's not like the original watering can is just like, has like 4 uses and then you have to go refill it. No, it has 40 uses, which is honestly really, really good. 40 uses is more than enough. Like I said, refilling it is super easy and quick. You can just come back, go refill it. Takes like maybe like a minute trip, maybe like just it's super easy. I really hate this thing more than I think I should. Now the brush here, honestly, I'm gonna put this here because whilst it's not 100% necessary, it is really good if you're like sorting stuff. Because once I get like a base going, I like to move my chest around and then like sort stuff once I get to a decent amount of days. And this is really good when you're just trying to just sort stuff out. Like, oh, all my stone related items go here. Just draw some stone on there and put it from like a section of chests or a singular chest or maybe a few chests. Just you do it there, and it's really great for sorting, so you don't have to just go through millions and millions of chests just to find what you want. It's honestly criminally underrated. I don't see as many people using this as I think they should. Now we pretty much just have... Oh, wait, hold on a second. I was about to say we pretty much just have beefalo taming stuff. But we have this. Holy crap, this is just dreadful. Its sole use is to measure the weight of fish. This is pointless. This is actually pointless. Like, Jesus Christ, why would you need to measure the weight of fish when you could just, I don't know, use the fish? Like, honestly, it's so bad. It's bad. It's bad. Oh my goodness, it's so bad. I hate this freaking weighing thing so much. Holy crap, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. I'm gonna move on, otherwise I'm gonna keep on ranting about how bad it is. First up, we have the, I believe this is the regular saddle. Honestly, I'm putting this in B tier at the very bottom because whilst I don't really do beefalo taming that much, whenever I do get the chance to, generally I might use like the war saddle or something because I just find that to be better. Anyways, it's pretty much just that. I'm not really that experienced with beefalo taming, and I've only occasionally used the regular saddle. I'm more of a war saddle person. The war saddle, I'm just putting literally right above it, considering, well, like I said, I'm not really that experienced with beefalo taming. I just find the war saddle just be better with what it does. Wait, what does it do again? Doesn't it give you like a damage boost? Yeah. It does just increase the damage, and I find that a lot better if I'm doing fighting. Seriously, that damage boost is so good. If I ever do decide to beefalo tame. This freaking thing. This freaking thing. Holy crap, I'm putting this down here. It just comes down to its price. You need living logs, silk, and... You know, just play the James Bucket clip.
There's 68 bloody butterfly wings. Honestly, it's not worth it.
Okay, thank you, James. Thank you for letting me use my clip. Thank you for letting me use that clip. I didn't get permission from you to use it, but I'm going to assume it's okay. It's like, yeah, it's 68 butterfly wings. 68 of them. And it requires living logs. That's literally a waste. That's a waste. It's a waste. It's so much of a waste of living logs. And trying to kill 68 butterflies before the wings rot. Jesus. I mean, yeah, you can probably do it, but it'll take you like 24 years. Holy crap. Saddlehorn. I'm putting this again. I'll put this like, I don't know, here. Again, with the Saddlehorn, I generally don't find a use for removing it. Because generally, I just let the beefalo go through with its thing with like the war saddle already with it. So I generally don't really have a need for removing it. I'll just generally keep it on. Just don't really find it that well. Now the brush I'm putting in C tier. It's a pretty decent item, and I generally have it on when I'm taming beefalo. It decreases the domestication timer, and I find that to be okay. It's pretty nice. It's nice. It's nice to have on beefalo taming. Again, I'm not really that experienced with beefalo taming, so I don't really know much about it, but what do I know? I don't know anything about it. Again, Salt Lick, I'll put this right above it. Now, in my original tool tier list for single player Don't Starve, I absolutely wrecked this thing into the wall, but I've done a bit of beefalo taming since then, and it's actually a fine thing to have on board. That's pretty much all I can say. Just having to not have to feed the beefalo, just leave it there for like a day is honestly pretty nice. And then we have this thing. What the heck does the beefalo bell do again? Give me a second. Oh, right, it allows a beefalo to simply follow you. I'm keeping this, like... I mean, it has more use than the waterfowl can. I just generally don't find a need to, like, bring them anywhere, and generally if I want a beefalo to follow me, I'll just generally feed it, like, a grass or a twig, and then I'll, like, just slaughter them away from their brethren. And that's pretty much it. The only thing in S tier is the hammer, considering it's a freaking God tier item. And everything else is just down, 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 down below. Anyways, that's pretty much it. What do you think of my list? Do you agree with anything? Do you disagree with anything? Anyways, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye to everyone. I will see you all in therapy.